This is going to go on page 24 of your INB notebook. Now double check that you have your charges on your periodic table. Okay, let's go ahead and move this a little this way. Okay, because you have your +1, your +2, your +3, your plus or minus 4, your -3, your -2, your -1, and 0. Okay, now, your whole objective here is you have to identify what charge goes with what element. So, pick a metal, anything, any metal. Iron? Or what? Tungsten is, let's do iron, okay? You're going to have iron, but that's with a Roman numeral. So let's do a +2, okay? And now let's do something like nitrogen. Look at your periodic table. What is your charge for nitrogen? What's your charge for nitrogen? -3. We need to unplug and take off the cap. Jacob, I tell you every single day, I shouldn't have to tell you about the cap. Take it off. School policy. We're wasting time. There we go. Okay, so now what you're looking at is the actual, there's only one, mijo. We need to be here on time. You're looking at the actual charge. Okay, that ion, you're going to have to balance it out. It has to equal out. So does a +2 plus a -3 give you 0? We should not be throwing things around there. Does it give you 0? Yes or no?
No.
It does not. Right? Okay. Guys, we need to be paying attention. Thomas, you should be writing this down on page 24 of your INB notebook. Okay, mijo, we already started. You came in late. You need to have your stuff. You need to not be interrupting me. Okay. The real truth is when you have an ion like this, since this equals a -1, you have to add another iron. But a +2 and a +2 gives you a +4. And then plus a -3, that's going to give you what? A +4 plus a -3 gives you what? What's your total?
1.
A 1. Okay, so is that equaling to 0?
No.
Nope. So we have to add another nitrogen. Now you have a +4 plus a -6. So what does that give you?
-2.
Right. So what do we have to add?
Another Fe.
Yep, very good. So now I can have my +6 plus a -6. Does that give me 0? Yes. And so what happens there is that it took 3 irons and it took 2 nitrogens to give you that chemical compound. Okay? The whole basis of chemistry is your chemical compounds. What's going to come together, what's going to go apart. So this is the same thing as your bonding, except you're doing it without the Lewis dots. Okay? So now, I'm going to show you a shortcut to do that. Fe was a +2. Nitrogen is a -3. Look at the top numbers. Are they the same number?
No.
No, so you can't reduce it. Can I reduce 2 into 3?
No.
No. Okay, so you're going to crisscross. I'm going to put that 3 without the charge, that 2 without the charge. When you have a number on the bottom, it's no longer a charge. It's telling you how many of that particular atom you actually have. So Fe is going to take that 3 And nitrogen is going to have that too. Is this not the same as that? Is it not the same thing? It is the same thing. Okay, without doing all of this work. Okay? You can do the crisscrossing. Okay, so let's do something else like that. Let's do calcium. What is my charge for calcium? Look at your periodic table. You need to have that out. It's a +2. Now look at selenium. What's your charge for that?
Yes, I forgot to print that.
You can use the book, man.
Okay.
It's a -2. Okay. Now, those two charges, are they the same? Yes. So they're going to cancel out. So your answer is just CaSe. Turn around, Thomas. Okay. This is your chemical compound. That's it. Okay, because if you can reduce, you must reduce. If you don't reduce, you're going to get the wrong formula. Okay, because that shortcut's a shortcut as long as you follow the rules. Okay? Right? If you need to do it the long way, you can do it with all the work if you want to. But you don't have to. The crisscross method is going to give you an easy way to do it. Okay? Pick something else. Pick something off the periodic table. Lithium. That's a good one. And what is my charge for lithium? You should be writing this down on page 24. This is a +1. Okay, so now pick a non-metal. Pick something that's a non-metal. Aluminum's not a non-metal. Phosphorus, okay. And what's my charge for phosphorus? A -3, very good. Are they the same number? Can I cancel out? No. Can you reduce? You can reduce 1 into 3? No. So what are you going to do? You're going to crisscross. Now remember, put that phone away. That 3 must be at the bottom. If you change that number, it's wrong. Okay? One number can change your whole compound. Now, you don't have to write a 1. The fact that phosphorus is there means you have 1. And that's it. Put that phone away. Why are we texting during class, Matthew? Put it away.
Because I'm texting.
No, but you're not supposed to be doing that right now.
Okay.
Okay? All right? So now, let's do something with a compound. If I have something like aluminum, what is my charge there? It's a +3. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a polyatomic ion sheet right now, and you're going to be able to look for the compounds that I'm giving you. Sulfate is SO4 with a -2. Okay. If you have SO3 and you change this number, it's no longer sulfate, it's sulfite. If you change that to a 2, it's sulfur dioxide. It's a completely different compound. If you have SO, it's sulfur monoxide. And that's it. Thomas, you need to be facing forward or you need to step outside. Okay? Guys, these notes are in your notebook. These are easy points that are supposed to be in your notebook. You're supposed to be writing these down. If you don't have your notebook, write it on a piece of paper. When you have a compound, now look at your numbers. Do they cancel out? Are they the same number? No. Do they reduce? 3 and 2 can be reduced within each other. They have a common denominator? No, they don't. Okay? So that 2 is going to go here, and that 3 is going to go here. The difference here is that you have a compound. So aluminum is going to have the 2. Sulfate, because it's a compound, and how can you tell it's a compound? You have 2 capital letters. That 4 never moves. That 3 goes on the outside. Thomas, stop making comments. You're interrupting my lesson. Okay. This is your chemical formula. Everything you're doing from now on, you're going to be making chemicals coming together and breaking them apart. That's what chemistry is.
What's the
Okay?
title? What's the title?
Crisscross method. And it's on page 24. Okay? Anytime you have a compound and a number goes down to it, you're going to have those parentheses. Because can it change your compound if you don't? Let's take that same calcium with a +2. And let's take something like hydroxide that has a -1. Which one of these is correct? Which one is correct? You should be writing this down, guys. The one on the right is correct. Very good. Okay, this is incorrect. This means that you have calcium, and what's missing here? Well, you're missing an oxygen, right? There's a difference between having 2 hydroxides and a hydroxide and just a hydrogen. Isn't hydrogen a different, that's just an element. Hydroxide is a compound. So by missing that oxygen, you just changed your whole compound, right? Sometimes one number, one difference on an atom can make something from something safe to something poisonous. If I have something like, are going to be coming from your charges, from your ion. You have to decide, your objective today is, does it cancel out? Do they reduce? Or do I just simply crisscross? That's it. That's your whole objective. So let me give you one. You're going to tell me carbon dioxide, that's a gas. Carbon monoxide is also a gas, but this one's poisonous. You change one element and it changes your whole entire compound. It's a different thing. It's a different substance. Okay? So are the numbers on the bottom important? Yeah. Okay? Now remember that those, what to do? Let's do something like,
Can I choose?
okay, choose.
Potassium
Okay.
and sulfur.
And sulfur. Okay. What's your charge for potassium?
It's +1.
Very good. And what's your charge for sulfur?
-2.
-2. Very good. So now look at those two. Do they cancel out? No, because they're not the same number, right? Can I reduce them? Can you reduce 1 into 2? No, right? Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to crisscross. So this 2 goes here, and you don't have to write the 1. So my chemical formula is going to be what? What's my chemical formula? Jared, we should be looking up here. What's my chemical formula?
K2
And
S.
Yep. This is your chemical formula. Very good. What if I give you, let me make something up. This doesn't exist, but let me do this. If you have vanadium with a +6 and nitrogen with a -3, what's going to happen? Can I cancel out?
Yes.
Are they the same number? No, so I can't cancel out. But can I reduce?
Yeah, reduce.
Yes, you can reduce. Very good. So I can reduce by what? By the 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now you can crisscross, right? So what's my answer? Vanadium. And nitrogen is 2. And squeeze that in there. And that's it. You see how you reduce that? Okay, where are we lost? Where do we have questions? Where do we need another example? Okay, are we all good?
Yeah.
We don't need another one? Okay, you're gonna do this worksheet. We're gonna grade it today in like 5-10 minutes.
What?
Okay? Make sure your name is on top. You're gonna turn it in to me personally up here.